Sorry, y'all, we went through a wormhole, but we're back. Welcome to Unlikely Heroes, the Ghost of Greymog, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e adventure on the wonderful, chaotic, wholesome channel. I am Adam Sowards, he, him, your dungeon master for today. And joining me is a bunch of incredible people. Let's tell you who they are. Behind the scenes, making it happen, making us sound and look great, is David. Thank you so much, David. And last but certainly not least are our four wonderful, very elusive performers. Thank you all so much. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Piper. I use they, them pronouns, and I think I've been here before. I'm going to pass it on off to Candace.
Oh, muted.
Oh. Double mute! My name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she, and I am going to pass it over to Matt.
Hey y'all, I'm Matt. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm going to send it over to Kay.
Hey y'all, I am Kay, she, they. Let's see if OBS will let me talk about our tip line this time. We have tips through Ko-fi. We know it's rough out there. Much like we did with God Planet Ponies, though, we have a tip link to support this incredible cast. If you would like to do so, if you are able to do so, please take care of yourself first and foremost. Tipping is not necessary, but if you're able to tip, you'll not only be supporting these amazing performers, you will also unlock some special perks and chaos within the game itself.
Yes.
$5. These will appear on the overlay in real time in a moment, but $5 you will get, you will add a +1 to a d20 roll. This is a pool that everyone in the group can use. For $10, you can grant the party a reroll. For $20, you can give a lucky box, which is 3 rerolls. For also $20, you can unlock a box of 100% totally useful items. They're totally useful magic items, and there's a totally in there, so you know they're very useful. For $25, you can give the entire party a +1 to every d20 roll in the next session. $25, we're getting wild with it. The next session, all 1s and 20s will unlock a wild magic surge. And for $35, you can name an NPC. You will send 3 acceptable, 3 not bad. Appropriate NPC names to Adam, and your NPC will appear in the campaign. We also have milestone perks. These mean that for a cumulative total, it doesn't have to be a singular donation. Every time we get a cumulative total of $50, a new perk will unlock. So at $50 total, we will unlock a potion loot box. $100 total, an entire box of 100% totally useful magical items. At $150, the party will unlock a +1 to every d20 roll next session. And then for $200, if we reach $200, we will get a magic item loot box. There is no 100% totally useful attached on that, so these might actually be.
Who knows?
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sticking through our tech problems. We are so excited to play. And Adam, please take it back over.
That's right. And again, super awesome stuff. If you want to throw it out there, it'll make the game that much more interesting. So with all of that said, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. I invite you all to imagine a world of fantasy and magic. A world of dragons and wizards. A world where Lord of the Rings and anime had a baby. We call it the Red Coast. A place with evil lords of shadow, knights of fellowship and hope, demons of flame and swashbuckling adventure. Yes, the Red Coast is the land of classic D&D adventure. Our story begins, as all heroes' journeys begin, with a call to adventure, a humble quest to escort a cart of supplies through the wilderness to a quiet village on the edge of nowhere. The perfect start, the prime road of trials for the next, King of Gondor or Jedi Master. But what happens when we shift it just a bit? And now Aragorn and Luke's stories never begin. What happens when that world needs saving and all its heroes are on vacation? Who is left after all the chosen ones, the princesses, the conventionally attractive 20-somethings? What happens when they're all out for lunch? Fate changes The world moves onward, but someone must take their place. Our scene opens on the last day of travel to the cart's destination. Thick forests, unkempt roads, lopsided cart, old driver who smells like feet, and 4 unlikely, unsuspecting, unpredictable heroes. Cart ambling along, we see this old road. There's these forests, very thick, high canopy. It's very dark inside of the forest. There could be any number of things in there. The little light streaming through as we see some of the ivy and moss sort of creeping onto this old unkempt road. As we see the cart, it is driven by this old man who has a straw hat, a little corncob pipe, very stereotypical old man. And around the cart is 4 sellswords, mercenaries, adventurers, and the camera turns towards our first adventurer as we hear from the old man. Well, I sure am grateful that you folks came along, and just I can't tell you the last number of times I was out here, and I just had a lot of bad luck recently, so I'm really glad that I got some strong folks here to protect this cart. I really appreciate it. And the camera turns towards our first character. Piper, could you please introduce and describe your character and tell us like kind of what they're doing around this cart? It's been 7 days of uneventful travel. And what do you think they're doing right now?
So you see movement kind of going out throughout the cart itself. You see like some linens kind of going up, like there's like a little bump that's kind of underneath it moving around. And eventually pulling out from underneath a piece of linen with a small, tiny piece of old cheese and paw, you see a little gray rat. Not little for rats. Size anyway. He is a very jacked rat, very much built like a triangle of cheese. He's got a large, strong upper body. You see that there's like some little kind of chip out of the ear. You see some like little scars on the face. And this gray rat wears clothes. You can see that the pantaloons that he wears, very kind of like puffy pants that he has, is very like a wizard took maybe some of the robe with like the blue robes with the stars on it and made pants and fashioned them that he is now wearing. You see kind of this bandolier up the torso and these little what look like push pin kind of tacks, almost like little spikes around his shoulder. You see strapped to his back, which is much larger than him, probably like 1.5 times. You see a very large, almost buster sword strapped to this rat's back. And it shoves a piece of cheese in mouth. Everyone else hears just like squeak, 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 squeak going on. As in the wizard's brain hears, I mean, I feel like I'm the strongest here, but like I guess everyone else is okay. I'm fine. I'm saying you're welcome, by the way. When are we stopping?
Thank you very much. I mean, you do look pretty strong. You have been pretty aggressive over the past couple of days, but I think if we get in a scrap, you'll definitely be one of those that kicks a lot of butt.
What are we fighting? What are we fighting?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's been a while since I've been up here to southern Calduri. It's kind of a bit of a wilderness, you know. Ever since the war 900 years ago, it kind of hasn't really recovered, you know, so we're just going, I mean, hey, we haven't encountered nothing. Might be wild beasts or something, but, you know, it could be anything, really.
See one eye blink on the other. It's like, yeah, I was definitely listening to all that anyway. And just shoves the piece of cheese further, kind of like punches it into his maw. And just
is it kind of like punching. A cartoon thing where it's like really big in the cheek? Like, heck yeah.
As he goes and just lays on one of the within the cart, there's kind of like those kind of like benches or buffers all the way around, and he just kind of lays on it like a cat that's laying on a couch, arms draped over it, just lays down.
Hell
Has a little
yeah.
nap.
And as you finish talking to Danbury, who is this old man that is guiding this cart. He owns this cart, and you've been traveling with this old guy since you left one of the various cities in Dalinor, the kingdom below Calduria, which is where you are now, the northernmost kingdom, which is very wild. And has a lot of not as safe roads, not as urban as the southern kingdom. And the camera shifts once again to another one of our characters. And Candace, could you please introduce and describe your character and what they're doing after, again, 7 days of just a boring travel, very uneventful?
Yes, Carrara Tombrook, are sitting, I imagine, is anyone in the passenger seat?
No, you can 100% be there.
So Carrara's in the passenger seat. They're gigantic. It is a warforged construct that is made out of stone, clearly a statue from a graveyard or some other type of resting place come to life. They have dark gray skin with white veins throughout their marble skin and like flesh. Very beautiful face. It's not clear what kind of statue they might have been, but that they are alive is clearly some kind of magical miracle. She has a jaunty hat perched atop their head, their hair and their eyes and everything, all marble. They blink and all that stuff, but there's no necessarily pupils looking at you. Although they can see. She is really tall. She's big, like a big statue from from on top of a mausoleum or something. And wears a colorful kind of motley looking outfit, that of a bard. And they are just kind of tapping on their hand drum that's kind of resting at their side, their kind of puffy sleeves billowing in the breeze. And they kind of toss over their shoulder. Please, Moose. No antics this early in the day, please.
Well, I gotta say, I sure am glad that you folks are here again, because it's a boring road all alone. Is it a time for another one of your wonderful stories or songs? There, Carrara, I sure do like them stories. Let me tell you what.
Yes, I could tell the story of the old witch that lived at the corner of the little town that I'm from. So come with me now. About 1,000 years ago, her name was Gertrude, and she just launches into a story as she's tapping. And the story has nothing to do with anything, just something she remembers from a long time ago. Gertrude has since died, of course. 'Twas I don't know the year. Gosh.
But was that the one that tried to eat the kids, or was that the one that tried to? I can't remember which fairy tale, or is this a real? I can't remember the differences.
Yes, this one is actually a real witch, and she did eat some children. But we don't talk about that because nobody wants to hear about such misery.
Funny enough, he kind of leans in. I think this forest around here, word I got from down back in Dalinor. Or is this forest haunted? There's some sort of curse on it or something. I think your story might be a little more true than you think it was. Some folks said something about a witch in these woods or something. I don't know very much about that, so I don't know. But let's keep our eyes out for it. Maybe. And I would say the camera now turns towards another of our adventurers. And Matt, could you please introduce and describe your character and tell us what they're doing to pass the time?
Yes. So, Bob Gimble, he's seated, I would say way in the back. I mean, as far as he can be from the old man. not because okay, so it's a mixture of things right now. But the main thing is that we've been on a journey for a while now. And the problem is that he has forgotten the old man's name. And it's been too long. He can't ask anymore because he's afraid he's gonna offend him. But he's been thinking like maybe there's context clues. Maybe at some point someone's gonna say it. But every now and then he'll like, oh, I have to be in the moment though. Oh no, wait, what is everyone talking about? And then he'll be like, wait, are we fighting? Remembering like hearing what Moose said, like, are we fighting right now? Oh no! And then he realizes, oh, it was just Moose being Moose. So it's like, oh, thank the gods. And then again thinking, wait, was it Duneberry? Ah, that doesn't sound right. Good berries? I don't know. And then wait, what? There's a witch? A witch? Oh no! Wait, 1,000 years ago. Okay, thank goodness. We're okay. Now I just need to figure out his name. And now at this point, Bob has resorted all of his mental energy to trying to find a way to get the name without revealing that he doesn't know the name. But he's wearing leathers. He's got a cloak over his back. He typically has a hood up, but you would note, like looking under the hood, that he has a full skeletal face. If he extends a hand out, it'd be gloved, but you would see that it's very ill-fitting. Everything on him is very ill-fitting because he has no meat on his bones. It is simply bones. And Bob Gimble, our little animated skeleton.
Simply bones on his bones.
Yes, exactly.
Bob, can you give me a perception check real quick?
I would
see if you
love
can find
to.
this name. You can give yourself disadvantage if you want because of your
Yes.
anxiety.
You know,
but whatever you're feeling.
This is too real, Adam.
All right, we'll take it back.
Okay.
Take it back.
So disadvantage, I have 8 + 3 for 11.
Oh, heck yes. I would say, honestly, actually pretty easily. It depends on, you can choose if you really, this processes in your brain, but you're looking around for anything, and maybe you look outside of the cart and you see along the side of the cart is a very crudely kind of painted, like a Danbury Services, or like Danbury Carts, something like that. Shipping, Danbury Shipping, that's better. Danbury Shipping. You see that someone crossed it out like 3 times and then finally got to Danbury Shipping, is on the side of the cart. You see that.
Bob is gonna be like, and just call out, so then it's not like he's assuming. He's like, Danbury? That's a fine name, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You see him kind of, the cart person turn his head a little bit. Again, straw hat, a pipe, a little short, very white beard. He's pretty old. Has these overalls on. They kind of swims in a little bit. Feeling a little kinship with you, actually. And he kind of turns around. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's my name. I would say don't wear it out, but not many people say it. So please keep saying the name."
I would love to. Danbury. Where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from a small town in Galenor to the south there, and I had a farm, and well, it burned down, and then I got a cow, and well, she burned down too, and then I got a horse. That one fell over, but the next one, that one burned down too. I just got to say, I really am grateful that you folks are here, because I had a lot of bad luck with these shipping services the past couple years. So
yeah, I'm glad to be able to help, Danbury.
Thank you so much, Bob.
You're welcome, Danbury.
Bob.
Danbury.
We should keep doing this. I like you. Come up, sit up here with the Carrara and me. We'll have a big fun time. Carrara.
I can scooch.
Oh, great. And Bob is gonna move up, like perhaps and typically he likes to be alone, but relishing in the success of figuring out the name without any extra awkwardness. Like, yeah, I will sit here.
And I'd say as you come up here, Danbury's like seems pretty happy, and then he kind of leans over and he's like, "I do have a bit of a question though. What's up with that other one?" And then the camera turns to meet our last adventurer. And Kay, can you please introduce and describe your character and what they're doing and where they are at this moment?
Yes. So is this a covered cart?
Yeah, covered cart, a lot of boxes inside. Not much room to sit inside beside those little tiny benches.
Yeah, I think up on top of the cart, kind of perched on the top, looking backwards as if watching the rear, right? Having definitely claimed that they're watching the rear, is this little 3'0" kobold, kind of skin somewhere between like creamy white and this kind of yellow hue, though they have a lot of gray. There's kind of these stripes across them and lots of little black spots, big marbled eyes that are this kind of slate gray, and a permanent smile, because that's just how their mouth is. They can't not smile. Large round glasses, and they would be adorable were they not so deeply disturbing. There is just something innately creepy about this little creature who's sitting up, kind of crisscross applesauce, facing back, cowl down. They're wearing robes, not like quite like a wizard, not quite like a scholar, not quite like a cleric, but you can see kind of bulk underneath it. So they're clearly wearing some sort of armor underneath. Little bitty hands with little bitty tiny claws on the tips. Lots of black spots, and it almost looks like a couple of these black spots are starting to merge together. Large round glasses perched on the very tip of their nose as they sit facing back with a book in hand, and their little nose is just buried in that book. They are absolutely not watching the rear.
Incredible.
And this their tail, like most leopard geckos, it kind of starts out a certain width and then it gets wider and fatter and comes down to a little bitty tick, and it's kind of wrapped around as close to their left side as they can get it.
Awesome. I would say the camera kind of zooms in a little bit over your shoulder, and I guess, what are you really focused in your book, or are you like trying to look for other things outside?
Oh no, we are full focused on the book. We are here because we have to be. We need to be. This job is not interesting, but the book is.
Heck yeah. I would say after like a few seconds of reading this book, as the camera's slowly zooming in onto the book over your shoulder, you feel something kind of just like flap down and sit next to you.
Just doesn't even blink. Like, this creature blinks so rarely. Just doesn't blink.
And you see a crow sitting there, just
wave it away with the book.
It looks like it's pretty curious, coming back over to your book, and it's like trying to like bite at it. What do you do?
It's mine. Mine.
That's mine.
That's rude.
And it still kind of keeps coming closer to you. It seems like it doesn't want to be deterred.
Oda just sits a moment, and the very, very tip of their little tail starts to quiver, almost like a rattlesnake. And they're gonna swat with the book. Just...
Give me an athletics or just like a standard like melee attack, if you'd like.
This will be good. That's a natural 1.
Oh no. Oh
That's
boy.
going into dice jail.
Give me a dex save real quick as well.
I'm gonna lose my book, aren't I? This is the worst. That's a 5. That's also going in dice jail.
So you swat at this crow. It sort of like flies up out of the way. The book slips just enough out of your hand, and the crow picks it up and starts to fly away. It's mine! It's mine! It's mine! And it starts to fly near the forest, kind of like disappearing almost over near. Above the trees, but you actually see something in there. But I guess my question to you is, you see something, some sort of color or light coming from farther down in the forest. Do you keep your attention there or on where the bird is going?
I need my book.
Okay. And I guess what would you like to do as you see this bird getting near the canopy of the forest?
Oda leaps to their feet, which still doesn't make them much taller because their legs are so short. And you watch they hold out one arm to the side. I really thought I was going to be holding on to this little trick for a little bit longer, but you watch these black spots down their arms start to like melt almost one into the other as just their entire right arm becomes this kind of inky blackness. And they shoot out, and a black solid tentacle extends up to 120 feet. I don't know how fast this crow is flying, but I'm gonna smack this crow.
Okay, give me another attack here.
Right. Let's see if I can actually make this one work. Oh, that's better. That's a 14.
That hits. So I would say you can either, since it's like kind of a tentacle thing, you can either grab it or you can kind of smack it to make it drop. What would you like to do?
How far into the woods is this crow?
I would say it's right on the tree line, basically, like right above the tree line. Like any farther, and you would lose sight of it because these trees are pretty high.
Okay, yeah, no, then I'm going to smack it and make him drop it. He took my thing. I want him to hurt.
So nice? You smack it, a bunch of feathers fly up into the air, and it keeps flying away, but indeed it drops the book. You hear it hit into some of the trees and land somewhere in the dark forest.
Oda's gonna hop down off the, well, not hop, they're very small. They kind of clamber down off the side of the cart and goes, tentacle retracts, and their little fingertips come together and just smiles at everyone sitting up front. I'm going to get my book. And I'm going
oh geez, what the hell? Tanberry kind of freaks out. I didn't even know you were there. Whoa.
Oh my goodness. I gotta get up. And Moose will push up from his laying down position and say, all right, just okay. And Moose will hop off the cart and start not running after Oda, just walking. Very leisurely pace. Just, oh my goodness.
Incredible. I would say, since both of you are kind of like running over here, I'd like both of you to give me perception checks.
I don't know what dice to trust today. None of them are being kind.
That is a 2 for Moose.
Oh boy.
Well, that's great because that's a 3 for Oda.
Incredible.
I gotta do some test rolls. Hold on.
So I'd say Moose, not really anything. You just kind of follow. Oda probably picks up their book and comes back. You don't necessarily notice all that much. Oda, you pick up your book and you start to turn away. Feel like you might have saw something in forest. Someone standing there. It was almost translucent, as if they were in armor. They had this banner that they were holding. They're gone.
You hear from afar, let me know if you need help.
There was a person who was not.
What's that supposed to mean?
It was this thing that I saw, was it near where I saw like the light?
Yes. But unfortunately with a 3, it's gone.
That's
it's gone. It's just the corner of your vision. Boom. Totally gone. And you hear Danbury stop the cart, And he's like, you all want to keep going or stop here for lunch or what's going on?
Well,
we're almost there.
First off, thank you, Matt, Mimics and Misfits. We have a $20 donation for totally 100% useful magical item.
Yay!
Yeah. And Oda is going to walk. Now, their walk, they've got the little leopard gecko bent knee things, so they kind of like waddle when they walk. It's this very awkward, slow pace as they're just walking calmly back. There was strange light, and a person who is not, and they are gone now.
Oh, well, next time don't get your book taken by a crow. Get good. My goodness.
Moose will turn back and toddle back to the cart.
Oda's head just tilts ever so slightly.
Oh, that's a bad omen there. Like I was telling them, I think this forest's haunted. We should get going. I don't think we should linger here very much longer. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, Danbury, let's go.
Yes, Bob, let's go.
Yeah,
Carrara, Moose.
I
don't know
we
the
should
last
go.
one.
I could use a little snack. I like to hold things in my hands while others are eating.
Yeah, we can stop for some food.
Can I look in the direction that they came from? Like, part of Carrara is like, I just want to get to where we're going. But part of her is also like,
A little curious.
those two little creeps ran out of the forest real fast. What's going on with that?
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can give me a perception real quick. It's going to be pretty difficult, but you can 100% give me one.
Okay.
So we also,
Get some more stuff.
John donated $25 for Wild Magic. And since we've done very few rolls, do we want to do Wild Magic?
Yeah.
For all the rolls.
I think it's incredible.
On ones and
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah, so basically whenever we hit a 20, or whenever we hit a nat 1 or a nat 20, we roll on the Wild Magic table. When it's nat 20, or kind of do it like with advantage, so we'll roll twice and take the better of the two, and then nat 1 opposite. So incredible, I love this.
I got a 21.
Oh, shit! That's awesome. I would say, yeah, you look over into where they were, and you feel a little bit kind of drawn, kind of like the outsides of your vision are kind of like getting darker, like you're trying to focus in on something there, and you just hear like a and you kind of see you're not seeing anything, but as you're getting closer, then just like a flash of something that was there. It looks like a ghostly image, like someone with a war-torn armor and a ghostly pale visage holding in a very old banner, and their like armor is torn and rusted and old. Half of their face is skeletal and the other half is this ghostly type of being, and they were sort of pointing at you for a second, but it's just a flash, and it's gone.
Danbury, could you
What?
could you just give me one moment, please?
Sure. I just and I would say kind of like stops the cart, and as you sort of stop the cart, you're kind of looking there. It doesn't feel like you were looking very long, but he stops the cart. And he's like, well, wait a second. And you look to the right, left of the carriage, and there's walls. There's walls here of a very old fort, like sort of built along the road. You see these old cobblestone. It was almost kind of like camouflage because of all the moss and the overgrown nature of all the trees. Is 10-foot high walls, and you only noticed it because in front of you there is an old portcullis, an old wall that has a space for a door where it once was, but again the doorway is open. There's no wall there or any door there, but in the middle of the road is a little box. On top of the box is a little 2-foot tall creature with long green ears and little pointy teeth and little red eyes, and they have two cleavers in their hand, and they point towards the cart, and they're like, "You, what did you have for breakfast today?"
Well, I am a statue. I don't actually eat, but I did hold an apple today.
You! He kind of like keeps pointing towards the other people. What did you have for breakfast?
Donut holes?
You! And points towards Moose.
And Moose just squeaks. Does not even bother to try to communicate. Just
You! And points toward Oda.
Oda just unblinkingly looks. I wanted to eat a rat.
You! Points towards Dan Bear, and he's like, a little bit like a pizza bagel. And he's like, pizza bagel, donut holes. I'll eat one of you. Ah! And you hear the breaking of glass in front of you, behind the cart. Flames erupt, trapping you all inside of this old fort as you hear the little pitter patter running around on top of these walls, some other creatures waiting to in ambush. And now I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Yeah.
You are not surprised. Sorry, Karar.
Karar is scandalized by this. This is so rude.
And I'll say, as you guys roll your initiative, please just kind of put it in the Zoom chat for now, because as you see this little goblin starting to jump off of the box with the two cleavers in its hands as we're slowing down time to go into battle, you all think, why did I take this job? And we go back. We do a brief flashbacks of what brought you all here. Where were these characters before, and why did they accept this job to escort a cart to the middle of nowhere? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d4, and we're going to determine who we see first. That is a 4. Oda, could you please tell us, could you please set the scene for us? About a week before this, perhaps a normal day for Oda, wherever they are, kind of just set the scene for us and kind of like, what do we see?
Oda is walking towards a city. There is a small town that they have left behind that does not know what is coming, but Oda is just walking quietly towards a city, fingers steepled, very much alone on this road. And as they approach the city, they feel the pull, the whisper, the thing. There's a sigh because all they want to do is get to this city. They've been moving pretty constantly for so long, and all they want to do is get to the city, find a nice, cheap inn, curl up by a fire, and read their book. But of course, they find themselves drawn through the city, looking for someone, looking for whatever this need, this pull is going to be this time.
I would say you hear, and I guess anyone that's standing near, very, very close to you, just these little whispers. And you feel the words, the well, of this town, repeated, the well, the well. And poison it, what you hear.
Heavy sigh. They're gonna wander along and try to find not the best part of town. And try to find someone who looks somewhat like a ne'er-do-well. And just walk up to the first kind of person who looks like they're involved in this kind of thing and just tug on their pant leg. Excuse
Hi,
me.
what do you want? Who are you?
Where do I buy poison?
You got some balls on ya?
They're internal.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Anyways, well, I mean, you looking to buy, or we just don't go around telling everyone what's that?
That is why I asked.
Yeah, right. How do I know you're not one of the Kingsmen, huh? One of the guards, eh? What for one of them?
Just the slowest blink.
Give me a persuasion.
Incredible.
That's an 18.
The blink was so convincing that it's going like, yeah, you're a bit a creepy one, eh?
Just will keep looking, and then the tongue comes out, smacks into the right eyeball, sticks a moment, and then.
That's pretty unsettling. That is. All right.
I was thirsty.
Well, I don't know. Okay. All right. You know what? I was going to be something mysterious as well, and sort of like be like, oh, follow me. I can show you where it is. But you know what? I have some right here, and I'll just give it to you because I want you to go away.
Thank you.
Wait, what do you want it for?
A star told me I need it.
Yeah. All right. Sort of hands it back to you. We don't know each other, right? We never met. Understand?
I don't know who you are. Thank you.
Good. Thanks as well. And I would say so now you have this poison. What is sort of running through Oda's mind? Because it seems like this is probably not their normal sort of reoccurrence or like everyday sort of routine. What's kind of going through their mind at this moment?
Oda really doesn't have much of a routine. Outside of, they are told to do a thing, and they do a thing. And anyone who's not Oda is very disturbed by how perfectly happy they are to do these things generally. This is definitely more direct than what they're normally asked to do. There's usually little bits of chaos left in their wake, which they're fine with. But it's kind of a moment as they look at it. And they put a little hand on their chest. Just kind of like checking. Getting that feel. Is this correct? Is this what I'm doing?
Yeah, I would say the feeling is always cold, but since you are a reptile, it's pretty usual, but it's more cold. It's more empty, more unfeeling, more almost terrifying. It's like being in a rowboat in the middle of the ocean and just kind of that unknown power beneath you of this force that if a storm could come up at any time, you'd be gone. But there's some strange sort of comfort from that, that you get from the orb, of kind of like a little pat on the head.
I do not like the ocean. And they'll go walk towards a well. Just wait to see if this is the correct one.
Yeah, I would say you walk towards one of the wells that's kind of like, seems like it's being used, and you feel a bit sick, like that's not the right one. And I would say you probably see over near, probably like a couple like streets away, you see that there's one that's boarded up. There's a boarded up well that it seems like no one is really using. And you feel drawn towards that one.
There's like the smile goes from just being the frozen to like it actually reflects a little. It's like, must be pests. And yeah, we'll head over and not even discreetly, just
pour the poison in there. And I would say as you're kind of like pouring this in here, I would say bit of a kind of a memory kind of flickers the front of your mind of walking through aisles of books and sitting in classrooms and things like that, and it sort of goes away for a second. And as you hear that, you kind of, as it kind of runs through your mind, you hear kind of on the other side of the square, a little dinging of a bell at a bookstore. And you see out front, there is new sort of volumes that have just been delivered today. And it is of an author that you recognize.
Oda's eyes get very wide. They drop the bottle and just start hurrying over.
Incredible. Yeah. What is the name of this author? Can you give me?
Oh goodness.
Can we name this? You can also ask for suggestions from the rest of the players if you'd like.
Let's see. I think. Oh goodness. I had a really funny one before, and now it has and now I've just, of course I'm on the moment and I've lost it.
Oh, that's fine, totally fine. I would say for now, you just see the camera is just above the author's name, and we see the title of the book. What is the title of this book?
This particular one is going to be A Cave for Two.
You see A Cave for Two, and I'd say what is the, like, there's definitely an illustration on the front of this book. What is the illustration?
It is a very large, very strapping black dragon and a very busty elf.
And you see there's like a couple of kids or a couple of teens that are kind of walking by, and they're like and they're like, should we take one? And they see you and like, oh shit, and they kind of like run away, and like someone comes out of the bookstore like, yeah, get out of here, you kids, these books are too spicy for you, and honestly they might be too spicy for me as well. Oh god, hey there. And they look at you.
They are not too spicy for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. You want one of those?
Coins just come out.
Oh, sure. Do you want just one, or you want as many as this can buy?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure. They sort of take it, and I would say they give you like 10 copies of the same book, and they kind of move it over to you, and you feel after you get all these books, you've kind of finished. There's no more feeling from that orb in your chest. Where does Oda go after they receive these wonderful books?
Like, very confused how they ended up with 10. Like, really don't understand exactly how this happened. Not overly concerned about it though, because they have one to read at least. So they just start walking along and probably pass like, you know, a poor person living on the streets, you know, reaching out for it and just drop one into their hand.
Coins? Oh, what the hell?
Just keep going. Like,
oh, thank you so much. Who needs food when you got words? And they sort of.
And yeah, Oda is going to find a tavern, a pub where they can, hopefully there's a fireplace, and they're just going to go and plonk themselves down and dig into that book.
Okay. I would say actually you're heading towards this tavern, and you start to you're approaching it. There's a couple, like, you know, there's like a horse trough and things like that outside, and you see you recognize something on one of the horses. You see it's kind of I don't know what the technical term is for it, but like kind of horse armor, I guess, on it. And there is this symbol of one of the wizards, one of the 7 wizards, not the one that likes you. And you see this sort of parked outside of the tavern. And how do you react to this?
eyes go very wide, stops mid-step, like one little foot, and like their little feet look like their hands, right? They've got it just up in the air, and then just kind of puts it back down, puts it back down, puts it back down, turns and just starts running. This awkward with a giant stack of books, probably taller than they are. Nope.
And it's sort of like as you're running, you hear someone being like, all right, last call. If they can find any sort of folks who want to help the adventure or protect this cart's leaving for Calduri. Anyone at all. And you see this old man. What? Hell, okay. You? What?
Have a book. I need to leave.
What? Oh, damn. Okay. All right, hop in. And you see Danbury there and in this cart. And you jump in, and then we sort of see this cart leaving the town as we see Oda looking at this tavern as the door opens and the light sort of peers out from this tavern, almost ominously, almost threatening this light coming out from the tavern. And the light shifts to somewhere else. It shifts to the light of the sun, and we see Bob Gimble. Bob Gimble, where do we find your character about a week ago in their sort of normal everyday life? Where do we find them? Please set the scene for us.
So you would see him staring at an empty job board, just like in a tavern where he's like he had probably seen some pop up, but just kind of rationalized him out of them. But as he's staring, he's like, "Oh, I should have taken one. I could have taken one." And then you see, like, as he looks back down, he has a stack of papers in his hands, and the most recent one, he's looking at rejected applications. In fact, it's this big stack. They all have the stamp in red that says rejected. He sent an application every week for the last few months to try to enter a very special library, and he's been rejected every single time. But it's like he's looking at this, and he just thinks, what do I need to do? I can't get the knowledge I need, but I need experience in order to get in, but I feel like I need the knowledge to have the experience. But Bob is like, he's contemplating. He's thinking back on some words that an old mentor told him. That, you know, when it comes to this situation, he has to show that he can be special. He has to show that he can be a hero. He has to show that he can be the hero that Bob Gimble was. And so as he's looking at this board, he's just aggravated because he keeps letting opportunities slip. He keeps letting his fear get in the way. And he's just standing there, cloak, hood up, staring and kind of seething at this pile. As he has his paper, he has his pen, he has another one that he's getting ready to mail. And he's contemplated, like, maybe my name, maybe I need to write it in like a more flowery way or something. Maybe that'll get me in. But that's what Bob's doing. He's just going back and forth. Every now and then maybe the bartender will look over and he's just like, just trying to decide. Yeah. And he's pointing at an empty board.
I'd say you hear from the bar, the barkeep. How long you been coming here, friend?
And he'll look at the stack and say, it's been about maybe 6 papers worth, so 6 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
You seem a bit, what are you trying to do here? I mean, I'm not saying I'm not happy to have you. You know, a couple of kids might be a little scared of you, but what are you looking for, huh?
I'm trying to find myself.
Well, we're right there.
No, I need to learn who I am.
Don't know who you are. What do you mean?
Well, I'm Bob Gimble, but I don't know who Bob Gimble was.
What? Huh. Well, I don't know how to deal with that. I usually people come in talking about like, oh, I got sick, or like, I got marital problems or something like that. I don't know. I haven't had too many folks who not know who they are coming in here. So,
well, maybe Bob Gimble had those problems. I want to find that out. I want to find out if he was sick, if he had marital problems, if I had marital problems, if I have a wife. That would be wild, right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
I haven't, or like, I mean, I have. If I have a partner, I haven't seen them in forever. I don't know them. I don't remember them.
Well, that's pretty tough. Honestly, I gotta say, I've been trying to think, and I do not know what to say. You want something on the house? You want some drinks or something? Here you go. I guess can you drink? Here you go.
Yes, absolutely. And Bob is gonna take the beverage, and it seems like impossibly so. He'll open his mouth, and the liquid will just go in, and you'll see some of the transit down, but it doesn't like splash away or anything like that. And Bob just says, it tastes good. I just wonder if it tasted good to me before.
See him kind of shakes himself out of it. Well, seems to me, friend, that whatever it is that you're looking for, like who you are, you ain't gonna find it here. And he's like, you've been here for 6 weeks now, and I don't know what those letters are that you're writing out, but that don't seem to be the answer. I think it's out there, man. Out there. And he points out the window. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll give it a shot. Thank you for letting me stay for so long.
Yeah. And you can pay your tab whenever you want. If you feel like you're not going to come back, I'd appreciate you paying it before you go.
Okay. Yeah. I'll and Bob is gonna reach into his cloak, take out a little bag, and say, "How much do I owe you?"
Oh, well, six weeks worth. So I'd say, I don't know. It's like I don't know, maybe like 20 gold or something like that. Something ridiculous.
I have 15. You can have my 15. You know what?
And this kind of sours the moment a little bit, doesn't it?
Keep my tab going. I'll give you 15,
okay,
and I'll be back with 5 more for you.
All right. I appreciate that. Well, hey, you know what? I would say if the job board here and I have something, there might be something out there.
Yeah. I'll go check it out. And if I don't show up again, just find Brandlegast. He'll
the wizard. One of the 7 wizards, the famous ones.
Yeah, he's famous. All right.
Yeah, I mean there are only 7 of them in the whole world.
Well, he taught me, so he'll pay you.
Shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey. All right.
Just tell him Bob Gimble sent you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you kindly. And I say you sort of step outside, and I would say you see on this job board that there is indeed one sort of nailed to the top, and it is that quest from Brandlegast, looking for someone to just escort a cart.
Oh, I didn't see. Okay, and then
it seemed like it was newly been put there.
Bob is gonna be like looking around desperately to see who did it. Like sneaky.
I mean, it looks like I would say maybe you see like a courier kind of walking away. It doesn't look like it was not the wizard himself. It looked like it might have been like bought or something, or sent like a letter to do this.
Okay. In that case, Bob is gonna jump up, try to grab the quest, and he'll call to the courier, say, "Thank you."
What?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. You're welcome.
Do you want a tip?
What's that?
Do you want a tip?
The well's that way.
Do you want a tip?
Let me just walk closer to you. He's gonna walk up. What? You want to, what did you have?
Do you want a tip?
Sure.
And Bob is gonna take out his little bag, and he'll realize, oh shoot, I paid it all to the bartender. You know what? Find Brandlegast. He'll tip you.
The wizard that paid for the. He's gonna tip me for you.
Yeah, for me. Just tell him Bob Gimble sent you.
Okay, Bob Gimble. All right, cool. All right, see you, friend.
See ya.
Turns away. What do we see Bob Gimble do next?
I'm gonna look at the quest and start heading towards the meeting point.
Yeah, and I would say kind of a little skull face with like the hollow eye sockets sort of peering at this paper brightly shifts to someone else. And we see Carrara. Where do we find Carrara about a week ago in their sort of normal life and accepting this quest?
I think Carrara is traveling with their caravan, their troupe of performers and musicians and artists. I imagine early in the morning they're probably lounging in like a hammock off the side of one of the like little kind of covered wagon style vehicles, like in the troupe kind of parade, and are just kind of strumming a lute or playing their flute or one of their other several instruments that they've learned to master.
Heck yeah. I'd say sort of like coming through one of the doors, we see Roderick, I guess your mentor. And what does Roderick look like?
Roderick is a like a little short kind of not old necessarily, but seasoned looking kobold. Brilliant green skin, very probably a chameleon, like a chameleon green skin.
Cool.
Very kind of prominent eyes that are hooded, heavy lidded. They wear a little bit of like a ruff around their neck, and have similarly foppish clothing to what Carrara likes to rock. Despite being very wee, Roderick holds himself with a lot of pride and certainty and surety, and kind of gestures a lot. Roderick is a bard that mostly tells stories, doesn't really use too many instruments, has like a hammer, dulcimer, and that's it.
Rise and shine, dear Carrara. Yes, it is the morning, as you are the star and something else in the east. I can't remember that one. What are you doing in bed, my darling?
Just dreaming of adventure. Does it ever occur to you that we just tell the stories, we don't make them?
No. Why would we want to make the stories? My darling, that is the point of the bard, is to remember, to tell, to recount the various histories throughout time. That is what we do. Do you?
Yes, but also, Could you imagine one of us being there in the thick of it? The stories, the grip, the grasp we would have. All that we have is third-party nonsense and folderol. Can you imagine if someone had a real experience to talk about on their journey, like they've been there, rather than just getting the dregs once the battle's done?
Darling, life is messy. The stories that we tell are very carefully structured with the first, second, third acts, all of those good, wonderful things. It leaves out of the times where you get sick and have to stay on the potty for 3 evenings, or when you, I don't know, you can't take a bath because you're on the road for weeks and weeks at a time. Is that something you really want?
Well, I mean, baths are for me, obviously, quite different than they are for you.
Yes.
An organic creature.
You owe me for that tub, you know.
I know. All of those things are nice, but they're not things I need. I really only need a captive audience, and what, if not a captive audience, is a band of traveling so-and-sos looking for glory. Am I wrong?
No, I just have to say this is a lot for first thing in the morning. You're telling me that my star performer wants to leave the act and that we have a performance tonight, and what am I to do? I can't perform. Please. I don't know the numbers well enough.
Roderick,
yes, I'm the director and I know all of these things, but what am I supposed to do?
Roderick, you have inspired me to be my best. I wouldn't be your best performer without you. I knew nothing. I was but a lump of nearly literal clay when I met you, and you've molded me to such greatness.
Don't make me sing, Carrara. Don't make me sing.
They couldn't afford.
Oh, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it, damn it. It's the role of a lifetime, and I'll take it.
It's a treat, Roderick, for everyone. And honestly, if you don't like it, you could just put that whimsy girl out there, and they'll take it away. They're all right. They're fine.
She's pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, if they're not knee-deep in,
Well, yes, I mean,
gentlemen and ladies.
That's why you put a lock on her tent. That's what I was saying.
Yes. I'm sorry to leave you in a lurch. I mean, you don't even know. Who's to say I'm going to find a job today? It could be any time.
Hear a knock on the door. Hey, there's a new job out here. Anyone, some guy just came in here and nailed it on the side of the caravan. Why do they keep doing that? God. And you see Roderick kind of stamps outside.
He'll forgive me. He will forgive me. I will bring back delicacies for him. Nothing that'll fatten him up, but everything that'll delight him. Forgive me, and I will just go back to telling stories, but I'll be even better this time because I'll have stories. Yes. And she tucks her lute away and stands up to her full height, just kind of hops out of the hammock and strides to the door. Yes, you were looking for magnificence and excellence? Yes?
As you walk out, you see the caravan has sort of stopped on the road, outside the city. All of the various carriages and carts are sort of set up in this circle, and there's a little bonfire that's out right now because it's the early morning, but slowly performers are coming out. You see a couple of acrobats stretching, things like that happening around. And you see Roderick, the little chameleon kobold, is sort of holding this paper, it's well, this is perfect. And he hands it to you.
Thank you, Roderick. I will make up for lost time. I promise. You know I have an eternity to carry your legacy on after this, right?
Yes, I know. It's just, well, I feel as if I was cast as the father figure in your story, and I don't know. You're gonna make me cry. Stop! Did you just go? Just go. I just won't be there to watch over you and show you the ropes. I mean, I will tell you, there was a time back in my day where I could show you a thing or two about adventuring. It made me a better performer, and I guess I guess that is what you should do. My instructor before me told me the best way to be to get more experience, to make your acting, your storytelling more believable, to go out there, live life. Yes.
That's all. That's all I want in the world. I just want to keep making you proud and keep making the troop proud and give us a new reason. I mean, the stories that shall come of this grand adventure, we will be the first and only troop to be telling those stories. They will be proprietary, I believe you could call it. So, just saying, to sweeten the deal.
You know, it has been 900 years since anything exciting happened, so I think a batch of new stories might be just what we need.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
And perhaps you might be able to find out what your story is as well.
Oh, no. We don't need to go into that. I
know it's something you were thinking about. You've mentioned a couple many times. Not everyone, I know it takes a little bit of time for folks to adjust to a talking statue, but I think there's got to be something behind that.
Yes, it's always floating around in the back of my mind. I'd be lying if I said I don't think about it, that I don't dream about it, but all in due time. All in due time.
Yes.
Like,
no, don't need to put all this stuff on me right away.
Like, she just shakes herself off, even though there's nothing to shake. She's just like, to kind of poo-poo everything he's saying. And then, like, lifts him up, like, scoops him up in one arm. I'm going to miss you, old man. You know that, right?
Oh, I'm going to miss you as well. This cold stone has such a big heart. I'm going to miss it.
She gives like the lightest squeeze and then like shakes the paper out. Puts it down. I suppose I should get to move on. Would you say goodbye to everyone for me?
All right. I will. I'll give you their love.
Thank you. Oh, except for Hedwig. Don't tell Hedwig I'm gone.
I'll tell...
What? Don't tell Hedwig I'll be back.
Yes. I'll send that along.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I'll expect a letter. All right?
And you shall have them in spades.
Very well, my friend.
Adieu. And she gives like a really deep bow that you wouldn't expect someone so giant to be able to give. But her body does not have any kind of real bones or skin, so she does whatever she wants. And it kind of does like a little flourish with their hand and kind of like waves their hat off at the same time. And then she kind of like flips it back up on top of her head and goes to like move toward the front of this caravan, trying to be a little sneaky. They don't want to like upset the other performers. They figure Roderick will take care of all that.
I would say as the sort of hat comes off, the camera sort of follows this gesture and whooshes off to another scene. As we see Moose! Moose, where do we find... Oh, we have something before we jump to Moose. You're muted.
Hi, I do this. Before we jump to Moose, Matt and Mimics and Misfits, thank you for the donation. We have 3 rerolls, a lucky box, and that pushes us to our first milestone redeem. If we also have a potion item box, which you may insert when needed, when ready, Adam.
Okay, we'll see. Hopefully you guys find it. No, you'll find it. Heck yeah. Thank you all so much. This is incredible. As we see the scene transforms to where we find Moose about a week ago. Where does the scene start? Where do we find them, Pepper?
We see the flourish of the hat, and then we're kind of like in the sky. We see this little butterfly kind of flying down, and we see like people walking amongst each other. And then as the butterfly flies down, we see a very dark alleyway. By the alleyway, the butterfly gets stuck inside of a spider's web. It starts twitching around, but the camera continues as right by where the spider web is, we see a backpack in the arms of a skeleton. There's a very large backpack that's there, and we kind of dive down inside as we see what looks like light come streaming out from the tied together bits to keep this backpack closed. Inside this backpack, we see a very homey space, like little plants that are kind of on the wall. That's more moss than anything. Maybe mold, who knows. But we see like little tiny lights that are handcrafted, made out of like bits of glass that have been glued together. And of course, we see little open flames, very dangerous inside of a backpack, but that's okay. It's for aesthetics. There is this kind of like, it's almost like a 3-tier, like open concept apartment inside of this place. Except with each of these are like little shelves that are kind of sticking out. Against one of the walls that doesn't have the shelf, we see a large, beautiful painting, well, large for this backpack, a large, beautiful painting of a bugbear looking over her shoulder. She has a little kind of pearlescent blue earring, and just this very beautifully draped peach colored dress on. She's just kind of looking back. Very still, beautiful oil portrait. Inside we see he's got in his hand like a little broom that's made out of various hairs of like cats and other animals that he's just stuck onto the end of a piece of wood, a little splinter. We just see that Moose is going back and forth, just sweeping the house. There's nothing really to sweep, but he's looking to be cleaning the place and says,
Oh my god, there's so many crumbs everywhere. Who keeps leaving crumbs in places?
Well, that has to be you there, Moose dear, the painting says.
I don't appreciate being called out in our own home.
I love you so much there,
love you too.
Moose, but I don't make any crumbs. I'm a painting.
I know, but it'd be easier if I could blame someone else that is not myself. Do we have guests?
Well, I think the spiders from next door visited us a couple years ago.
That's probably why then.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah. I know. Thank you so much.
and Moose goes over and just smooches the painting on the cheek.
Oh, you. You're so sweet and so angry, and I love you.
I love you too.
Can you be a darling and move me towards the window? I want to look outside.
Yeah, of course.
And Moose goes behind the painting and struggles and moves the painting over towards
Oh,
like
you're
a
so
tear.
strong.
I know, I've been lifting. I've been practicing for you.
Oh.
Puts the painting to look out the tear, the hole in the backpack that's there. It's kind of like roughly stitched up to look like a window. Little toothpicks that are kind of forming this little plus sign to make this very window aesthetic.
And yeah, you see the painting looking outside, and you just hear eventually a little.
What now? I cleaned everything.
Oh, no, I think can you turn me towards you? I don't like you talking to the back of me.
I mean, I'm fine with looking at the back of you, but okay.
Oh, hey there. Oh, getting frisky, are we? And she looks at you and she says, I don't want you to think that I'm not happy here with you, Moose, because I mean, there's a reason we got married, and I love you so much.
Yeah.
I just wish that when you held my hand, I wish I could feel it. Or when we.
I know. I understand. I mean, there's only so far imagination's gonna get you.
I mean, it can get us pretty far. Oh, our neighbors hate us.
I know. That's okay. I hate them too.
And you see Moose kind of contemplates and thinks and slaps his legs and says, all right.
I'm finally gonna do it.
Hold on.
I didn't know
Are
you've been.
you sure?
Yeah,
We don't have to. We can.
I know. I've
I'm
been
happy.
training part of my life for this. I've done at least 50 push-ups, at least 50 sit-ups, and at least run 5 kilometers, miles, I don't know the difference, per day.
Stones.
Sounds, yeah. To the
I saw you lifting that marshmallow, and I thought, oh, he's going somewhere.
I know. Look at this figure. So good. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for Goose. What Goose always believed I could do.
But I know you're strong, and I know you learn from the best, but it just seems I don't want to lose you. I mean, I know you're doing this for me and everything, but I just,
I know.
I don't want to risk it.
I know, but you're my lady, and you always will be, and you know I'd do anything for you.
You got such a big cheese heart.
I know. It doesn't make me fart either.
I know I'm a painting, and I can't smell, but you definitely fart, Moose. You know what?
I think we're straying off topic.
You're allergic to cheese, Moose.
I think we are straying off topic about me getting you out of this painting once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you caught me. I'm trying.
Farts.
Yeah, I love your farts.
I know, that's why I do them. Anyway.
Oh, come here. I can't.
Kisses again, kisses the painting a few times.
All right. By the
Okay.
time that I get back, you'll no longer be.
You're not taking me with you?
What? You're very large.
Well, just get a big backpack.
I'll have the spiders come
I'm not
check
gonna
on
stay
you.
home alone while you go on an adventure to turn me back to normal.
I'm supposed to carry. I've already got the sword. Gotta bring the sword.
Honey,
Sweetie.
do not leave your painting wife at home.
What am how am I supposed to bring you with me?
I don't know. Get a bigger backpack.
You're so.
Oh, I know we're not going to talk about how big I am. I know we're not going to go there.
That's fine. Okay, I'll bring you with me. Goodness.
It'll be good work for your glutes. It'll be a good workout.
Fine.
You'll get even stronger if you have me on your back all the time telling you what to do.
Okay, fine.
I mean, because I'm a heavy painting. That's why. Not because, anyways.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, we'll fashion something. Bring you with me. Okay. And by the time you will no longer be the portrait of Lady Binhamper, you will be the fully formed Lady Binhamper.
I will be Queen Binhamper.
Queen Binhamper, and I will be your loving. Am I just a lord?
You'll be a king consort, Moose Binhamper.
King consort. Oh, I love king consort.
I don't think I'm a queen or anything, but I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Okay. Well, do you have everything packed?
Yes, I have everything packed.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Okay, one thing before we go.
What?
I just want to preface this. I know you're very passionate and very you care a lot. You can be a tad aggressive to people that are not me. I'm just saying if we want to do this, maybe I don't know, maybe we can talk it out instead of you going crazy on someone. Food for thought. Cheese for thought, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. I'll use my words.
Okay. All right. I love you, honey.
I love you too. All right. Kisses. Let's go.
And I think, and then we see the wonderful, or then the, 1 second. Then we see the screen change back to back to the present as we move 7 days into the future. We start again with glass breaking fire, spreading, and we jump to a new scene in Owlbear Rodeo, which is going to be our virtual tabletop. And we will, 1 second. Y'all can see it now. And I would say you can move your folks to where you think that they are around this cart here. And we can jump into a little breaky break as we jump back into the moment. We see again the fire spreading as you are in the forest trying to guard this cart. As it is going towards this destination of this little village. The flames erupt. This little goblin with a 2 butcher's knives are jumping out to attack as we are about to jump into combat. But before we do that, we will take a little break.
Thank you all.
I clicked be right back, and it didn't move over.
Oh. And we are back into the adventure. Thank you all for joining us again. So, where we left off before, our adventurers were traveling with this cart, and then out of nowhere, a goblin, and then jumped out of nowhere with a bunch of butcher knives, and a flame spread behind them, trapping them inside of this old stone fort. And as we have jumped into initiative at the top of the round, as we jump over to our owlbear map, at the top of the round, we have the first group of goblins, ? And they are going to go first. If everyone can move their folks where they think that they are in the cart on this owlbear rodeo here. As you can see, we have all of our fun folks here. And blah, blah, blah. We will start doing some things. As you see, as this goblin jumps off the box and starts to run, he's like, I'm going to eat those donut holes in that pizza out of your stomach, and starts to run towards the cart. You see little ears on the walls next to you on the either sides of this fort. Little ears start to poke up, and you see crossbows coming over the sides of the walls as they start to rain down arrows upon you all. And we're going to roll here. One for each of you. And Carrara, what is your AC? What is your AC?
Double mute. It's 11.
11. Oh, dang. Unfortunately, so one hits you. I would say, Bob, you get a miss. Oda, there's a miss there. And then one is going to hit Moose. So we see that is 7 damage to Moose and 5 damage to Carrara, as we see these little goblins' heads poke up, like, yeah, get up, and the little crossbow bolts, and there's like some of the bolts are flying through, tearing through the cart. Some are boom, boom, thudding into the wood. And Oda and Bob, what does it look like when you either dodge or block these incoming crossbow bolts coming from the walls around you?
Oh, I'd say like when that crossbow bolt starts flying, Bob is thinking about Danbury. And just the fact that it's like, I know his name. So I am going to make sure that I maintain this friendship. And so Bob is going to be like, oh no, and just kind of grab hold of Danbury. And like the two of us kind of fall backwards as the crossbow bolt flies over us.
Sticks like right in the seat where Danbury would have been if not for you. And Oda, how about yourself?
Oda like hears the scuffle and hears the one closest and just turns their head and just stares up, and the bolt comes. They just and then just stay at the angle.
Incredible. Just the angle, you sort of plank a little bit. Well, I guess not plank. Move over a little bit, and boom, studs right behind you. And I would say with their little bonus actions, they're all going to try to hide again. We will see if that happens. Oh boy, well, 2 of them definitely do. What is the highest passive perception here? That's just your perception plus 10. Everyone's shaking their heads. No.
Moose has a 9.
13?
13.
Anyone higher than that? 13? Okay, so I would say that these dice are in owlbear, if folks can see them. I would say 2 of them to the north sort of remain hidden. But again, these are 10-foot high walls, so you can kind of see some of the ears a little bit, and on the southern side still, as they reached over, shot crossbows, and you see them kind of go back down, and you hear the, damn it! There seems to be struggling with their little crossbows, and that is the first goblin's turn, and then we jump to Oda. Oda, it is your turn.
Can I see one of the goblins to the south on the wall still?
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? I would say with this, 1 second, I'm gonna do something real quick because there's a little fog of war here. I'm gonna do something, hide some folks that you won't be able to see before I remove this.
Suspicious.
And I would say on the map now, we see, boom. Oh, that did not do anything.
Boom.
There. Boom. You can see those two to the south, those two goblins there. I would say like maybe you can see like kind of like the tops of their heads, or they're starting to come over again after loading to shoot again. So yeah, you can see them.
I will Oda's just gonna kind of shake their head because they really should have paid attention earlier. Because they had ample warning had they just been paying attention. And Oda again is just gonna reach out one little arm, and those spots on their arm are gonna start getting like gooey, and they're gonna start melting and dripping until the entire arm is just coated in black. And they're gonna shoot out their arm. It's going to go 5, 10, 15 feet as they attempt to blast this little gobbo on top here.
Yes.
Which is going to be... Does an 18 hit him?
Yes, very much so. If you can use a little pointer, which goblin, or I guess select which one on there, so I know which one it is.
It's
this one? Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. Then... trying to remember if this... It's going to be 7 points of force damage as the tentacle smacks him, and it's also going to attempt to repel him by 10 feet.
What does it look like when you completely destroy this goblin?
It just, the tentacle goes out. It is this solid black kind of squirming liquidy mass that just smacks into kind of the chest just below the throat of this goblin and just boom, just hunts him out of existence.
Heck yeah. They just go like, ah! And sort of disappear. I put a little skull on the map to have us know that there was a murder that occurred there. And we see the goblin, and you hear one of the other goblins sort of shout out, and they're like, actually, Oda, can you just roll me a d10 real quick?
Boy. That's a 4 again.
You see someone say, no, mold! As they're shot back out. It seems like that goblin's name was Mold. So that was your action. What else would you like to do? Bonus movement, anything like that?
Oda's arm remains this slick tentacle that's just kind of moving absently beside them as they're just gonna like slowly step forward 10 feet, just 2 big steps, staring at that goblin standing on the box, and just go, "You should not have done that.
I'm gonna eat that black ink."
You will not.
No, I'm gonna.
And that's their turn.
Incredible. Next turn, I believe is I have to go back to the chat. It is goblins 2, other sort of group of goblins turn. It could be me. Okay, so you're going to see a bunch of things suddenly appear. You see a goblin here. 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 all of these folks, you see about four, like three more goblins on the wall start scrambling over the walls. This one moves 5, 10, 15, 20 to you. This one is going to move up towards the cart. 10, 15, 20. It's going to try to jump into the cart. Try to scramble. Well, actually, it'll try to scramble over. It'll disengage with its little action and try to scramble into the back with its movement. This one, these two up here, are going to stay there. So you see these ones run up. Two of the goblins run up with one of them slides down this ladder. And he starts running over and runs straight over to Oda, and they start to swing. Where is it, guys? Let's see. And does a 15 hit. Oda.
Does.
Dang. Oh well, okay, not very much damage. So that is 3 damage coming at you as this goblin. Yeah, what's up?
Can I cast Silvery Barbs?
Yeah, I think. Can you see? Oh, yeah, I think you. Does Silvery Barbs need a line of sight?
It says.
I mean, well, yeah, you have it anyways.
I do have to be able to see them, but I thought I could see them because they're trying to attack.
You definitely can, especially because like you're on that one side of the horse, you can definitely see them, and you're very tall. So yeah, you can see them. What would you like? What does Silvery Barbs do?
Silvery Barbs means that creature that I am pointing at, which is the one who's shit talking my friend, I would like for that creature to re-roll that d20 and use the lower roll.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna re-roll an owlbear. That is a 2. That is a miss.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Carrara, what does your Silvery Barbs look like?
My Silvery Barbs. So Carrara kind of is horrified by all of this. They didn't expect to be in battle like literally immediately. So she's like away from the cart, like toward the woods where she was going to investigate the sound of the whispering, and like sees all of this and is like, ugh, and kind of yells like, hey, get the fuck away from my friend, like starts to shit talk him, and like the words kind of come out of her mouth in like a script, and they like shoot into whoever she's like pointing at, basically. The other part of Silvery Barbs is that I can choose a different creature to have advantage on their next attack roll, and I'm gonna pick Moose.
Hell yeah. So we see these words as the sort of rusty sword is about to come down on Oda, and the words sort of like hit and like push their arm back, and it hits into the ground instead. You see the goblin look over. Yeah, a nasty little talky farmer. I'll have to get that one next. And then the rest of the goblins go. So that one, so the one with the 2 little cleavers completely ignores Oda, runs over, scrambles next to scrambles over Danbury and Bob and into the cart, and you hear like things like flying around. He's like, you got some goodies in here, I'm gonna take them. And just kind of like moving around in there, and you see him, you hear like, ooh, this one looks nice, and you hear them pick up something, but that is their turn. Then we move over towards these 2 folks on the wall, and you see them pull out these 2 what looks like little bottles, and they have this sort of reddish orange liquid in it. It looks like it's carbonated, and they're just like, ah! And they both chuck these things down there. One of them is going to be right at Bob and Danbury, and probably the only other person that's probably in at Oda, because they're the only one that has killed someone currently. Let's see how that goes. I need to do this. Well, those are both misses. However, you do see that They missed, but there's a little box here as these things. Where did that appear? You didn't know where that was. All right. There's boxes are. Two. These little things appear. They throw these bottles. The breaking of glass, similar to the beginning of the fight, and you see flames erupt as they've thrown these little Molotov cocktail or alchemist fire potions at the ground, erupting in flames. They don't seem to be very high. They both missed, but it is creating flames in those areas that I've dictated there. This little goblin, this little pudgier goblin in some armor, who has a little hat with a big red feather in it, is like, just gotta kill them. I would say he raises a little crossbow and tries to fire. We'll have him fire at Danbury and Bob here. First, we'll do. First attack will be at Danbury. Oh, that's a hit.
No!
And the next attack is with disadvantage on Bob. So that is a miss on Bob. And 6 damage towards Danbury. You see as a crossbow bolt hits him right in the shoulder. What in here? Oh God! It's time to get out, Betsy! And you see Danbury pull up a light crossbow. He's like, "You're gonna regret that, you damn goblins!" We see this goblin captain up here. And can I? Let's see who is going next. Carrara, can you roll a d10 for me?
If I have to. 9.
Okay. This is as you see all the other goblins up there sort of turn towards this captain-looking figure with like the red feather in his cap. They're like, "Captain Restaurant, what should we do?" This was determining the goblin's name. And he's like, "Just go and kill them." And at the end of this goblin's turn, we see something happening about right here. Just north of this goblin, we see a little green smoke starting to appear, starting to swirl, and all of a suddenly, another shape appears. This little, as the green smoke starts to coalesce, it creates kind of like a illusory type figure, almost like a ghostly type figure, but it's like a green color, and it looks like the outline of another goblin who is dressed sort of like wizardly-ish. And as the goblin appears and looks at this captain, he's like, "Captain Restaurant, what are you doing?" And the captain sort of like stumbles over to the side. And he says, "What are you doing, you fool? I need another ingredient. Bring it to me." And the captain's like, I'm so sorry, I did it. Lord Ziffer tries. He says, "Say the whole thing." "Lord, Ziffer tries. Genius, mountain brain, knowledger of bowls, and what was the last part? "Wizards of wizards, you fool." Oh, gosh. Imbeciles all around me. "Bring me another ingredient. The ritual must be completed, you fool. Hey, and then I will finally be king of all the Red Coast." "Bring it to me quickly, you idiot." "I'm surrounded by all these fools. You must bring it to me quickly. Do you understand?" Yes, sir, of course, Lord Zephyr. Yes, bring it to me, or I will turn you into something more agreeable." "Oh, no, please." "Yes, quickly. How do you turn this thing off?" It looks like he's moving his hand somewhere, and then it sort of disappears. And Captain Restaurant is like, "Oh, I hate that guy. Kill him! We need to kill him, but take this stuff. We need it." And that is the end of the goblin's turn, as all of that stuff happens very quickly. And now we are finally to Carrara. Carrara, it is your turn.
I think Carrara kind of stares at everyone, like, again, just being very, what is happening right now? I feel like I already went. Did I already go?
No,
Those
you
just
did
a reaction. Yeah.
Oh, got
And-
it. Okay, sorry.
Heads up, we have 3 rerolls, and we just got an anonymous Ko-fi donation, so we have a +1 to a roll as well.
Okay.
I'll use
Thank
that.
you.
No, I go. Heck yes. Thank you so much.
I think Carrara is going to
Oops.
use command
Ooh.
on one of these goblins.
Ooh.
I think on the mean one. That shitty one with the staff.
He disappeared.
Damn it. Okay.
So it looked like it was some sort of like illusion spell or something like that. Like it might have been like, I mean, the sci-fi equivalent is like a hologram appeared and then it disappeared. So yeah, it was like there and gone, unfortunately.
Okay. Then I changed my mind. Instead, I'm going to do Creeping Touch. I'm going to turn my hand into a spider friend that I made during my 900 years of living in that graveyard. I want it to... Oh, never mind. It doesn't attack. Sorry. This is my first time playing this kind of bard, and I'm really excited about it, but I'm like, I don't have any spells to attack people.
I had to ask
what's
Adam,
it,
do my
subclass?
things stack?
Yeah.
During break, so don't worry.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, then I think I'm going to use the command spell Grovel, and I think I'm going to use it on one of these goblins up top. I think the one that's all the way to the left, if I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
if you just like click it or with the pointer. Oh, okay. Yeah. Heck yeah.
That one?
Yeah. This highlighted one.
yes, that one.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
This one. I'm so afraid I'm going to move this character. I'm so sorry.
Totally fine.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw.
Heck yes. What is the number that they have to beat?
13.
13. Okay, they have a -1 in wisdom. So they're going to have to get a 14 or higher to avoid this. Let us see.
-1 in wisdom. What's
Well,
that, like, moves?
that's a hot 3. A hot 3 for you. So
Great.
they fail. What is your command?
So that creature is now prone.
Ooh, heck yeah.
It says it ends its turn, which means that I think I can probably use this outside of my turn, which is weird because it says I need 1 action, but that's fine. And I think then as a bonus action, I think I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration over to Bob. So I look over at Bob and I say, "Hey, Bob, I know you don't know who you are, but I can tell from your stature and your bone density that you must be quite heroic. So get out there and get in that shuffle, because I don't want to."
All right. Thank you.
So yeah, on your turn, you get 1d6.
Sick.
Would you like to move it all? You do see like there's like
Yes.
a little bit of fire in front of you, kind of
I
like
would.
it hasn't touched you at all, but it's on the ground, sort of.
I'm
covering
gonna
that
move
area.
like right here, because these flames aren't growing, right? They're not like coming at me.
No, they're not. Thankfully, they have not hit the carriage
Cool.
just yet. So yeah.
So I'm gonna protect the back end and get away from this fire.
Hell yeah.
And then I might come back over there to fight that guy, but I don't know. We'll see.
Heck yeah. So as Carrara, oh yeah. Well, what do you say to the goblin that you cast the spell on? What does that look like when you cast this spell?
I scream at the goblin, "Hey, you! Yes, you!
What? Me?
You need to let us go."
Did you want to know my name?
Lay down if you want to let us go. Your name?
Yeah, roll me a
Why would I
d10
want to
real
know
quick,
your
and then
name?
I'll tell you my name.
Another name? Oh no.
Another.
7.
Oh, well, my name's Two Corns.
2 corns.
Yeah.
Make yourself prone.
Oh,
Prone,
no.
2 corns. I'm so sorry. Tell your friends the same will happen to them if they don't let us go peacefully.
Something's happening to me. There's some sort of witch magic is making me go to the ground. You know, the goblin's
Yes.
like, shut up.
And you all will go to the ground, except dead, because look at my companions, how tough they are. Please.
Don't listen to them. Just kill them. Otherwise, if it tries to kill us, kill them. Incredible. Now we jump to Moose. Moose, it is your turn.
As the goblin picks up this box, very excited that they got what they needed from inside here, there's like peeking over the edge is just little moose, little ears, kind of flicking at first, just like big eyes, very Puss in Boots, sort of like, "Whoa." And then immediately,
Yeah.
Ah! What the hell?
and just jaws open, and Moose goes into a rage. You see Moose's tail starts to like elongate. Spines begin to grow out of it. It gets about it is much longer than he is at this point. And Moose will just start, it just jumps onto the goblin's head, or tries to, and just takes a sword and just starts whacking him with the blunt end, just whap 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 whap. And because of
Hell yeah.
advantage, I will roll with advantage.
Hell yeah.
That is an 18. So that's a 23.
Definitely hits.
Amazing. So that is going to be 2d6 plus 3 plus 2 for rage, I believe. Is that what is added to my rage? Yes, it is plus 2. Amazing. So, wow. Okay, so that's going to be 15 points of damage.
Dang. I also have there's this thing called like cleave rules. I would say if there was another a baddie nearby that was like a minion, you could whatever damage that left over hits them, but unfortunately there's not another baddie right next to you because you completely like turn this goblin into mist. So what does it look, what do you look like when you, I guess, do you want to kill them or knock them out?
Oh no, it's fully killing.
Okay.
So Moose at first is just like whack, 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 and I think the goblin just starts like sinking in further into the cart, and then Moose is like, oh yeah, and turns it to the sharp end and just cuts him in half.
Incredible. Let me just place this little skull here.
Moose is then going to move 5, 10, 15,
I guess also as you sort of like boom, 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 it's like, and then just like the dead carcass of the goblin, you hear them sort of drop this little chest, and it's a very nice looking chest. You guys don't know what you are escorting to this village. I would say you probably haven't looked at all the stuff in the cart, but this is a really nice it's like iron banded chest that has a really big lock on the top of it, and it sort of like thuds to the ground after you bash this goblin and then start to run out.
Yeah, Moose doesn't care about the box.
Heck yeah.
But Moose will run going about 5-10 feet, hopping up into the boxes, and then Moose has a 10-foot climb speed. So I think just as the one archer sees friend get like cut down, you see that Moose just disappears behind the boxes, and he's like looking around, and then all of a sudden Moose is out, like just over top.
What the hell?
And
Kill it! Incredible. Would you like to, like, I guess bonus action, rage, action, movement? All right, heck yeah. Then we move to Bob. Bob, what
All right.
is going on?
Let's go. So Bob, perhaps recognizing that the one on the walls seems to be like in a way a second in command. Bob is going to feel emboldened by Carrara's inspiration, and is gonna hold up his mace towards that goblin, and try to fire off a little guiding bolt here. I would like to, if I may, do non-lethal here, thinking maybe we can get some intel from this one, because it seems to have at least some clout amongst these goblins. So let's.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Okay, that's a 7 plus my spell attack is +5. Can I use Carrara's inspiration, please?
Yeah, I think so. What's the is it a D6?
1d6.
Heck yeah.
Great. So 15 total.
That is exactly the number that you needed to hit.
Carrara, thank you.
Give us some damage as we see flying out.
All right. So that'll be 4d6. So let's go.
Crap.
Okay, I'll have to roll this in individual. So 3, 4 for 7, 4 for 11, 1 for 12 damage, non-lethal.
Incredible. Oh my gosh. So you see 1 second. As you see, or actually, what is you casting and shooting the spell look like? Like, what do you say? What does that look like?
So, Bob is in essence, because he's been struggling with these feelings of not knowing his identity, and so when he shines this light from his mace outward onto the goblin, it's almost as though like the sort of existential crisis that exists in Bob is transmitted into the goblin. And so it's like these questions of, who are you? What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? And like, you would probably hear these sounds from in Bob's voice being sent over into the goblin's brain.
Incredible. This wonderful, brilliant light shooting out. And you see this Captain Restaurant, the goblin up there, and is like, uh-oh, and sees this attack coming, grabs the goblin next to him and puts him right in front of himself. So it hits that goblin, but like the damage was so much that it goes through that goblin and hits him as well. But again, the first goblin knocked out. And what was the total damage?
It was total of 12.
12, incredible. So you see some of the damage sort of leaks through. He's just like, oh, get out of the way! And then he's like, what? Ah! And then he falls over, knocked out, snoozing. And then the rest of the damage carries over. Boom! And he's like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Oh God, what? Maybe I should go back and get a science degree. And sort of questioning himself. And you see the other goblin has been passed out. Let me find. Is there an unconscious thing?
Ooh.
I can't do. This is so small. I'll just put stunned on him right now. So that guy's knocked out. And what else would you like to do as you shoot out this guiding bolt? You see one of the goblins gets knocked to the ground. The other one's like, what are you doing? Oh gosh. And he's not able to give commands because he's so unsure about his life. What else would you like to do? Bonus and movement.
I was wondering if I'm able to make it in front of the horse, and if I can get the horse to like back up a bit, because they're really close to the flames.
Heck yeah, I would say give me an athletics or an acrobatics. It's got to be super low. Like it's basically like all you need is a 10 to just not fall.
All right.
Pretty
Fingers crossed. I've got a +2, so 13 on athletics.
So yeah, you're able to just sort of bone your way up to the top of the horse. Get in front of it. I probably shouldn't have said that. So you bone your. I'm not taking it back. You bone your way up the horse, get to the front, and give me an animal handling to get this horse to move because it is afraid because there's fire on either sides of it. Arrows coming in, little weird things running around screaming.
Okay, I've got a +3 to this, so that'll be a 5. Oh no.
So the horse is hey yeah, we have a bunch of stuff. Do you want to use one of the rerolls?
Yes.
And Adam specified, which I didn't say to y'all. All of our pluses and rerolls expire at the end of the session.
Yes. So we want to use those ASAP.
13 instead?
Heck yeah. So what happens, I guess, where you feel like you were going to really mess up and then you change your mind to just get in close with this horse that understands you?
So Bob was about to call the horse by the wrong name because Bob was thinking about Danbury and was about to say Danbury and then was like, oh, Delilah, please back up, okay? We'll keep you safe.
And you see it slowly starts to move back. I would say it probably moves back. If I can grab this, I don't want to run over Carrara, but we will
be all right.
sort of move back like here. And we'll just have you kind of like step to the side. And Danbury's still on there. Skull. Yeah, so you see the horse moves back a few feet away from these flames.
Excellent. And Bob, after doing that, is just going to look triumphantly up towards the goblins, and that'll be my turn.
Heck yes. And then we move to Danbury, who is just like pulls the crossbow bolt out of their shoulder. Like, you goddamn goblins, you're coming over, you're trying to kill it. This ain't gonna be the day that it burns down for the 4th time. And he stands up to level his crossbow to try to I guess the only one you can see is the big guy over here. Because Moose has this one sort of handled. So he's gonna, yeah. Oh wait, oh no, you have one right there. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that one. He levels up and is going to hit at that one. Let us see. That is. Oh goodness, that is a hit. You see Danbury raises up. Heck yeah, Danbury raised up. Oh, he did 6 damage here.
Nice.
As you see, this crossbow bolt flies across. I'm gonna eat your inky shadow. Right in the center of the head, falls down to the ground, dead. Another goblin.
I told you would not.
Is the goblin's response. Danbury is going to basically use his movement to try to kind of get off of the carriage, to kind of get behind it with a little bit of cover. He's like, oh God, what's going on? He looks over at you, Carrara, what's happening here? There's so many goddamn goblins.
I don't know. It's called an ambush, but I don't know.
Okay, well, and also, I didn't know that you guys were magic. Holy shit, that's crazy.
Why don't you get behind me and just take a breather?
Okay, I'll do that. Sure thing. it sort of moves around. You know that magic in this world is very rare. It's not like feared, but it's like 1 in 1,000 people are even able to have it or to access it. So it's very rare and very, very cool to like commoners and folks that might not have ever seen that before. And that is Danbury's turn. I think this is the end of round 1. It's back to the top of the round with the goblins again. We see right here. Oh boy, here we go. Moose, give me an athletics or an acrobatics check real quick.
Oh, no.
You are trying to beat an 8.
That is an acrobatics. That's going to be 16 from Moose.
Okay, so as a bonus action, the goblin's like, fuck you! And tries to push you off of the wall. But I think Moose is just too much muscle, and like he pushes you, but you don't move.
And it's just this goblin, and you just hit. It's just solid wall at this point.
Yeah.
Be like,
Yeah, I got a 6-pack. What are you gonna do about it?
Oh my gosh, what is this? Who is this rat with a beach body? And drops their crossbow, pulls out this serrated looking short sword, and he's like, I have to do this, and then goes to attack you. That is a 2. So they sort of swing again. I think they. Well, actually, how do you dodge this or block this, Moose?
I think you see Moose brings up that overly long sword that he has, this buster sword, and just blocks it. There's like sparks that fly out. It's like grinding. They're face to face at this point.
Oh, heck yeah.
Growling at each other. Just
Sparks coming off. Yeah, you're my nemesis now.
Your nemesis. You're mine.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, if I survive and you survive, then we'll remember this, and then we'll come back one day over a really long bridge, then we'll fight again.
I remember you're not gonna survive this because I'm gonna destroy you and everything you built.
No, you're not gonna survive this and everything you built. They're just like screaming at each other.
In my head, they both dropped their weapons and just did a slap fight.
As they are slapping each other, you see the 2 hiding goblins, Boop, appear on the northern wall as they come right back over the wall to send some more crossbow bolts this way. And they see the closest people to them are Carrara. Well, I guess they'll probably shoot at Bob. Danbury doesn't look all that threatening. And we will add another little d20 here. Oh boy, that is 2 4s. 2 4s, people.
Adam.
These goblins, I would say they're just kind of like, they kind of go over the wall and they're like, all right, I'm going to get that one. It's like, no, I'm going to get that one. It's like, what do you mean? Oh, you said that we were going to get, no, I said we were going to get that one instead. It's like, oh, stop arguing about it. You're arguing with me. And they're like, oh, just shoot. And then they both shoot and they both boom, right into the floor right in front of you guys. Like, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. You know what? This is all because you didn't leave the toilet seat down. He's like, oh, you're going to bring that up again? And they're just arguing and fighting with each other. That is... oh, I forgot he was part of Goblin Turn 1. I put him on Goblin Turn 2. The Captain Restaurant, looks over the field and is going to shoot at Bob, I think, after finishing his midlife crisis. Ooh, that's a 14. What is your AC?
16.
Okay, let's see, what does he have as a plus to this? I'm searching, there's a +4. So he does get you with that one. And then we're going to try to roll again for his disadvantaged attack. 10 plus 4. Oh, you said, what did you say your AC? I completely forgot it. What was
16.
16. Okay, so he hits you once, just once, which is pretty great. Well, I guess not great, but better than twice.
Whose side are you on?
That is big 3 damage coming at you. As he sort of he's like thinking to himself, like, what am I gonna do with my life? He's like, no, not being turned into whatever it is that Civiltrize is doing is more important. And lowers his crossbow and he's like, give us your things. And then shoots a crossbow bolt, reloads again, shoots another one. As you see, the first one flies in and probably, I don't know, knocks one of your bones off. And then you just kind of put it back on. Yeah, or actually, you tell me, where does it hit you?
I'd like to, I love the imagery you put there. I like to imagine, like, while I'm holding my shield and mace, that like the bolt like just hits me at the elbow joint, and I'm like, oh no, never mind, and I just kind of duck down and get it back up and just do like oh yeah, I was meaning to replace that.
You see that Captain Restaurant sees that your arm falls off, and you pick it back up, and he says, no, you're one of them already. And looks panicked, and starts to move this way. 5, 10, jumps over his friend, 20, and gets on the wall here. Looking like he's trying to get far away, but not quite flee yet. And I believe that is Goblin 1's turn. The next we have Oda.
Can I still see Captain Restaurant?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it was like honestly a perfect shot.
Wonderful. I'm going to take one step north to just get away from the fire. It is wonderfully warm, but I don't want it to get any closer. And this Captain Restaurant seems to be in a panic, and I would like to make that worse. So I am going to need him to make a wisdom saving throw, please, as whispers start to fill his mind as the tentacle continues to chill out beside Oda.
Heck yeah. What is the saving throw? What is the number that you need to beat?
He will need to beat a 13.
13. He's a -1, so needs to get a 14. That's a 7. That is a 7.
That makes me very happy.
And what is this spell that you have cast?
So again, these whispers, all of these whispers start to fill his mind, and then they just coalesce into one singular dark spike as they cast Mind Spike.
Ooh, heck yeah. Lethal?
Lethal? I don't think you can non-lethal magic.
Well, we can change it up if you guys want and it makes sense.
I am not interested in non-lethal. That
Okay.
is 13 points of damage.
Ooh boy. Okay. Let's see. Is he near? Oh, he is near. Okay. You do see as this. Wait. Target an attack a goblin to. Let's see. I don't think you'd be able to see this because it's just like whispers that are appearing. So I would say he was going to try to redirect this or something to that goblin on the ground, but it just starts to. And what does it look like when this Captain Restaurant dies?
I think he's like scrambling, trying to figure out how to redirect, and is like, and then he just like freezes, and blood comes out of the nose, and then just drops.
Dang.
Boom. Captain Restaurant is no more. You won't be able to learn that he named himself Restaurant because it was a fancy name. He didn't know what it meant.
It is very fancy.
It is. Depends
and
on the quality of restaurant.
he's blood, and then just falls off of the wall. You hear him crash into some of the boxes on the other end. And what else would you like to do, Oda? That was your action. You saw bonus in movement.
I'm good.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And I would say now it is Goblin 2's turn. Blah, blah, blah. There's only 2 of them left.
The one is unconscious because of damage.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
He's unconscious.
Mhm.
Unconscious.
One's
So this
prone.
one gets up. Let's see. Can I move this guy? Oops. Oh. He won? How do I take this away? Okay, there we go. Great. So he stands up and kind of looking at his sort of dead leader. Just like, still kill him! And looks over and starts to, I guess, shoot at you, Oda, that just took out their captain. What is your AC, Oda?
It's 14.
14. So that is a +4. So that is a hit, unfortunately. That is 6 damage coming at you as they reach up their crossbow, and they're just like, no, you can't, you're not as scary as if it tries. And another crossbow bolt flies at and hits you where?
Oh, I think it hits like right where the tentacle and the body kind of meet, and Oda just kind of blinks and looks down at it. No, I am more scary.
This is not fun. Why do we have to run into weird farmers like you guys?
You may run if you wish.
Give me an intimidation.
Oh.
That didn't happen. I think that means this dice doesn't want to be rolled. It was a 3, and then it rolled to a 19 plus 5.
Nice.
Well, I would say roll me a d4 real quick.
Right.
Two. Okay, you see that this goblin, the one that you just fired at you, turns to leave, to run away, and also this goblin on the wall turns to flee as well. You see that 2 goblins, seeing you do this, we can't tell these things, they're scary, we don't know what's wrong with them, and they all sort of turn and they start to, on their turn, it looks like they are going to flee, run away.
You do not look delicious.
And that is Goblin 2's turn. Now it is to Carrara. Carrara! Oh, muted.
Oh my gosh. Each of these little tiles is 5, right?
Yes. Yeah, each square is 5 feet.
1, 2, 3. I'm going to use my movement to go here, if I may.
Yeah.
And then I would like to, because I believe for this goblin and this goblin, I keep pressing them, but they're not doing the thing to show you that I'm pressing them.
There's also the little thing on the right-hand side, the little pointer thing, where you can just kind of like, yeah, it kind of like brings up a little color when you just press it.
Looks like a teardrop.
Yeah.
Or if you press Q.
Oh, Q. That's wonderful.
So
you guys is a little bit better than I do.
This one.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if it's doing anything.
Yeah, I saw it.
This one. And then this one on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's unconscious.
He's unconscious? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to do, I wasn't sure if he was still out. Then those 2, I'm going to cast Bane.
Ooh.
I'm going to need them to do a charisma saving throw.
Ooh, okay.
They need to get a 13.
13. Okay, they got a -1 to this. So let's see how it goes. Well, it's a 10 and a 5. There's 2 fails. So what does Bane do?
So as I concentrate, which I will stay concentrating for the duration of until my next turn and then see where we are, each of these targets that fail their saves must subtract 1d4 from the attack roll or save. That amount in 1d4 is 4. Ha! Yes. You must -4 from anything either of those creatures do.
Heck yeah. Okay. Let's get
Actually, Carrara goes, Danbury, get behind your mule.
Okay. Can he move? Is that like an ability, or was that just a?
No, it's just a suggestion.
Okay. Cool.
Because he's no longer standing behind me.
Yes. Okay. Right. He's like, oh, where did you go? Sure turns around. Incredible. Let me get a brush.
Time check reminder too, Adam.
Okay. Thank you. Oh dang it! Why can't I freaking draw this thing? What is that? I don't know what that's doing. But I drew a weird thing. Just a reminder so that we know who's been baned. Nice. Incredible. So, what does that magic look like as well? Like, you can strum something, play something when this happens?
I feel like she just kind of like has this very like staccato, very quick drum beat that starts like a little bit like mid-tempo and then goes up to high tempo, almost like a war drum sort of. Rhythm, like a tempo, and as like the music kind of comes out of this thing, it shows up in like purple and pink sparkles that kind of make their way over to these creatures and kind of swirl around their heads. I think that like it looks disorienting, basically, is how it kind of comes across.
Yeah, and I say they sort of hear the drums inside of them, and there's like looking a bit confused. And now it is Moose. Moose, it is your turn.
All right, so Moose fighting with this goblin here. Looks to the goblin, brandishing the Buster Sword, and says, "What's your name? So I can remember this fight."
Roll me a D10.
What's a D10? What does that mean? What's this meta? That's a 3.
My name is Ripper.
Ripper? That's really cool.
What's your name?
And he said it's Moose.
And Moose is going to slap with the great sword that he has.
Heck yeah.
That is a 15.
Hit.
All right. That is going to be Let's see how much damage. That is 5. That's 10 points of slashing.
Boom. Dead.
So Moose doesn't kill him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Moose instead, very much like a baseball bat, just kind of smashes into Ripper, and Ripper falls off the back of the fort. And then before Moose moves on, Moose like comes up and just points the sword at the KO'd Ripper and says,
"Come back when you're better, Nemesis."
And turns around and immediately starts running after others.
Incredible. Thum, as the reverberation of you baseballing this goblin, and as they sort of fall to their unconsciousness, "Your name was stupid!" And then they Ripper falls down unconscious on the ground, poised for revenge later in life. Yeah, anything else you'd like to do? Bonus action? Anything else?
That's it.
Heck yeah. Now, Bob, is your turn.
All right. Does the one up there, up to the northwest of the map, is that one gonna run, or
that one is baned. Okay. The one right.
All right, I'm
here.
blasting them. I'm blasting with some more guiding bolt
Blasting
action.
them.
Let's go. All right, that'll be 15 plus 5, dirty 20.
That hits. Heck yeah.
Right. I in this case, like Bob, perhaps noticing that some of them are ready to run. He's like, okay, they're okay, but this one is very adamant about not continuing their education, and so Bob is gonna turn his mace upon them and fire off that beam of light and say, maybe you'll get to come back as a skeleton and have a second chance. And as that light just goes straight out at them.
Heck yeah. And what is does it, this is kind of like a radiant kind of thing. What does it look like when they're totally dead?
Yeah, so I'd like to imagine that it's like the light just kind of bathes them in radiance where it feels nice for a moment. It feels like going home, and they're like experiencing, and then it's like you see them from top to toe just disintegrate into dust.
We see a very dramatic angle of this goblin as the light sort of pouring in. Like, is that there? So, and there's like, I'm coming home. Just turns to dust. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No, I'm good. Bob's good.
And you see Danbury. Danbury is, I guess, just gonna try to get behind that horse because he's a little bit afraid. But it seems like everything is going pretty well. We just have some goblins fleeing right now, so he's just like, I guess. Did we win? And at the end of his turn, I'd like everyone to give me perception checks.
Could have used one of our rerolls because that was real bad.
Yeah, it's another reroll.
That was worse.
Oh no!
I am gonna, if anybody wants to use the reroll, I will use the other reroll.
Yeah, I think
Unless
we have,
Candace.
we have one left.
We have one
One
more,
left.
yeah.
Heck yeah, take it.
Who's got the best perception?
I got a 13.
You use the reroll. I'm really
I have
bad.
a +3 to my perception.
Take it. Reroll.
Okay. Here I go. No.
Oh, that's okay.
That's a 12. Can I bardic inspiration myself?
Technically, I don't think so, but you know what? I think 100% you should.
Yeah?
I think Carrara would be inspired
And
by
take that
themselves.
+1. That we
Yeah,
just
take
had.
the plus
yes,
one.
yeah, take the +1. Yes, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so I'm allowed to use the better of the two rolls, yes?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so that's a 13 plus a 14 plus a d6 is a 15.
Okay, nice.
Heck yeah. All right.
Embarrassing to roll a 1 on
So
a d6.
that's the highest roll that everyone got was a 15. All right.
Horrible.
So I would say everyone else, you're really focused on all the goblins. The fire is still there. It's slowly starting to dissipate. You can hear the goblins' footsteps are running away. And all of a sudden, there's this, as if the forest itself goes quiet. There's like bird sounds, sounds of the leaves moving, the sound of the wind. The wind goes away. And then this huge gust of wind shakes all of the trees and a bunch of leaves fall down. And then as soon as the gust starts, it stops. Moose, Bob, Oda, you were all focused on this. You didn't look up, but Carrara thought to look up. And you saw the shadow, something large, something massive, something that there is only one of its kind left in the world, but it's not that color. You saw a dragon fly by. But the only dragon that's left in the world, dragons are very rare. The only one that's left is far, far, far to the north, known as Asragar the Red, a red dragon. This one was not red. It was gray. And as you see, it flies over and disappears into the distance. You feel a sort of dread These are things of myth, of legend, of stories older than you can remember. Dragons are nothing to I don't know. They're bad. They're bad news. That's all I'm gonna say. And as this whooshes above head, you see some of the other goblins sort of looked up and they freak out as well. They're like, no, the beast, the beast, the beast. And they keep, if they weren't already fleeing, they would be fleeing now. And I would say as this stops, unless you all wish to pursue these goblins, I would say we are out of initiative.
Did you all see that?
Saw many dead goblins.
No.
One.
I saw that too. Yes. No, I'm speaking specifically of a dragon. I saw a dragon in the sky just now.
What? What are you talking about? There ain't no dragons right here.
Oh, is he dragging?
What?
What?
No, not dragging. It was a dragon, like a giant scaled winged beast. A huge beast, yes? A dragon.
Slowly takes out a book.
Like that, yes, with the... Oh, good taste. Excuse me. Yes.
You have the books.
Like that.
Cindy Mingles is my favorite.
I don't... We're not going to get distracted. I find it important that there was a dragon. I understand you're like, oh, but Carrara, there's no dragons. Just Asgarth or Argyle or Agelden. Asragar, the red. But this dragon was not red. It was some other, maybe black, I don't know, green? I wasn't paying attention. All I know is it wasn't red. I was freaked out. It was above. You didn't see that shadow, that giant shadow that just passed over all of us.
I would also say that at this moment, as this sort of combat is starting, has dissipated, and this new revelation, you all remember seeing that goblin that appeared in the green, and you remember something. That goblin was wearing a wizard hat that you all recognize. That is Brandlegast's wizard hat. The wizard that hired you on this quest. It's striking. You would remember that. You also remember seeing that they had these weird necklaces around their neck. They looked like little cages. And you could see almost as if there was some moving creatures inside of those little cages that almost looked humanoid shaped, but is too far away to notice. And as you sort of look through this fort, as the fire is starting to dissipate, you see some of the goblins running away running into the forest, and you see a little trail in this forest where these goblins are running away towards. And after a few seconds, you hear a thump come from that trail, and you hear some movement starting to come from the forest, and 3 figures step out, and you hear one of them say, "Is this one yours?" And a goblin thumps onto the ground with an arrow in its back. That is where we're going to leave the episode for today.
Oh no.
You guys, we're in some shit.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we just wanted to do an escort mission.
Damn it. Oh,
my
no.
gosh.
I do not want to meet a dragon.
I might.
I was joking that we would get to fight a dragon, and I feel bad now. I feel like this is my fault partly. I'm sorry.
I did
I shouldn't have
foreshadow the
made
dragon
jokes.
with my smut books, so I think we'll share some.
That's
some
true.
alignment.
Okay,
Foreshadowing.
all right. I feel
I love
better.
the showing of the smut book. Like, this is what a dragon looks like.
Yes, it is.
My kind of dragons. Incredible.
The elf kind of looks like you.
Me?
Hell yeah.
Me? Carrara's gray stone, like the white veins in the stone, turn pink around.
Aw.
Beautiful. Incredibles. Yeah, well, that's all for our game today. Thank you guys all so much, and I'll pass it over to Kay.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We had a great time. I have been so excited about this table and this game. Thank you, Adam, for running it and for having such a great story. Thank you, chat. You're amazing, as you know. Thank you, Matt,
Yes.
Lurking Writer, and our anonymous tipster for those. We really needed those roles at the end, so thank you.
Yeah.
And I think since we didn't hit any of them and we did start late in the episode, we can carry over the wild magic to next one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because we need that. I need chaos. So yes, hey you all. Oh, are we doing outros now? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Hey you all, I am Kay Purcell. She, they, you can find me across the internet at KDamFear or right here at Chaotic Wholesome, because I do this channel with the amazing David, who you can't see right now, but has done great work today. You can find us here every Tuesday doing the Table Talk Show. We just beat Baldur's Gate last night, so I guess we're switching over to Oddsparks for our Thursday and Friday streams. Find me every other Friday over on Entropy Emporium for the Weird Wilds War, where I play Brandon, the Himbo Ranger.
Yes.
Very different from this one. Yeah, some people here know that one. And Emergency Power Podcast every other Wednesday. We are in our 4th season, but you can jump in at season 3. We have some great recaps and more stuff that I can't talk about yet because that is just that life. So, who next? Sorry, I lost track.
Over to Piper.
Hi everyone. I've been and will be Piper. So I have played Moose, the barbarian rat man. You can find me over on where you get your podcasts on 12-Sided Story, The Hidden North. It is a very exciting game, very scary. Definitely check that out when you can. Again, I listen to it on Spotify. And of course, you can also check me out on my channel, Matihi, where we play What We Do in the Shallows, which is a queer pirate adventure, very gay, very dramatic, lots of kissing, so much smooching. It's a really, really fun time. I play it over with Candace as well. And yeah, it's just a absolute blast. I've had a blast here, and I'm gonna pass it on over to Candace.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. I have had a lovely time. Thank you for being here with us. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace the Magnificent everywhere else. You can hear more of me and enjoy my work. On Monday, I will have 2 premieres. One is for Partial Veil, which is a cosmic horror, creepy, foresty kind of Eldritch Terror meets Fargo podcast that I am in. You can also hear a new episode, the final episode actually, of One Shot with Super Dylan. It's myself, Momo O'Brien, Super Dylan, Azrai, and Brito all doing For the Queen, and it's super funny. So if you need to pick me up, please listen to that. As Piper said, you can see me in What We Do in the Shallows as well as The Hidden North. And you can hear me if you like Girl by Moonlight and magical girl stuff. Listen to Bloom and Blight, where I play Belladonna, who is a Garnet-like character that's going to steal your heart. I'm going to pass it over to Matt.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm Matt. I've been Bob. You can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. Thank you all so much. This has been such a blast. And I guess at this point, I'll pass it over to Adam.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I am Adam, he, him. You can find me at Adam So Wizard on the places online. I do things like this. If you also are wanting to play this type of game, you can find me on Start Playing, where we can run this game for you or some other stuff. Yeah, super excited. Thank you all again for letting me do this and joining me on this wonderful channel. And thank you guys so much, David and Kay, for doing all of the production stuffs that I could not ever do in my lifetime. Very much appreciate that. Yeah, so I think that's it for us today. But before we go, I want everyone to put their hands in real quick. Hands in, huddle up, everybody. And I'm going to need a word or a phrase or something from the episode that we can go out on. What do we got?
Restaurant.
What was that?
Restaurant.
Restaurant six. You know what? Hey, let's do restaurant six pack.
Oh yes.
Six on 3. 3, 2, 1.
Restaurant six pack.
Woo! All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye, restaurant six pack.
Bye.
Bye bye. That's where you get your six packs. Restaurants.